Cinema and television. How often do I go to the cinema? I only go if there's like a special movie. If I want to go see Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or something that I'm interested in, or maybe a movie like Avatar, something that's more of a special event, or maybe with my children to see an animated video from Disney or something. So that's the time when I go to the cinema. I would say it's maybe once a year at the most, sometimes twice. The first film I ever saw in the theater, I remember seeing an animated video when I was a child called Watership Down, which I think it's been remade, but it was about rabbits. There were good rabbits and bad rabbits fighting each other. It scared me as a child, but that's the first one I remember. The first good experience I remember was seeing Star Wars, the original first Star Wars. What is the best film I've ever seen? Boy, I don't know. I would say the movie that I enjoyed the most at the theater was the Star Wars movies when I was a kid. So the original 3 Star Wars movies. When was the last time I went to the cinema? I haven't gone to the cinema since I left the US. It's been over 2 years. There was a Star Wars over 2 years ago. That was the last one I went and saw at the movie theater. Or the cinema. Would I recommend it? Would I recommend going to the cinema? I think so. I think it's a good experience. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Would I recommend seeing the movie? I think it depends. If you're a Star Wars fan, then I think I would recommend seeing it. Have I ever seen the same movie more than once? Yeah, the Star Wars ones again, or the Lord of the Rings. Only movies that I really enjoy. I should say this. I only go to movies for enjoyment. I don't go to them for like a cultural experience or for education or to broaden my thinking or something. I view it strictly as entertainment. If I want to learn about something like a topic, I will read a book or I will search the internet. But if I'm watching a movie, it's only for enjoyment. I never watch them to get depressed or sad. So what kind of films I like? I like action, adventure films, sci-fi films. Occasionally I'll watch something like Saving Private Ryan or Schindler's List or something like that, which can be a little depressing, I guess, going back on what I said. But they're good movies, so I'll go see them. Have I ever seen a film that made me cry? Yeah, usually. If it's something about, I don't know, say a father dying or, something that I can relate to, thinking about my children or my own father, something like that, or my mother. My favorite actor or actress? I would say right now I like Chris Pratt because he's funny and he's a good actor. I started watching him in Parks and Recreation, a television show, so I enjoy watching him. My favorite movie character? Oh boy. I would say my favorite movie character would be Bilbo Baggins from the Hobbit movies. I like the way he's portrayed in those movies. I think it's similar to the character of the books, even though the movies change the story a little bit. How do I decide which film to see? I usually read reviews. I don't go to see a movie if it gets terrible reviews. Not from the critics. I don't really care what they say, but I look at what the audience is saying. Do I usually watch films at home or at the cinema? I usually will watch films at home most of the time. I, again, only go to the cinema if it's a special movie and I want to get the experience of the big screen and the surround sound and enjoy it with other people. So maybe if I have some friends that I'm going with. Do I like watching films dubbed into Hungarian, or do I like to watch them in the original language? I don't mind watching films dubbed in Hungarian if it has subtitles. If it's just Hungarian, I don't understand it well enough. But I've watched movies in English that were dubbed from, say, Chinese, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or some movies like that. And I enjoyed them. They did a good job of dubbing them. I think it depends on the quality, if the voices match well. Do I watch films online? All the time. I watch films on Netflix, Amazon Prime, things like that. Sometimes on YouTube. How often do I watch TV? Well, I've started watching TV more because we just got satellite television. So now I try to watch every day in Hungarian. So I'm watching sports and other things like that. The news also. Okay, what kinds of TV programs do I usually watch? Well, like I said, I'll watch sports, I'll watch the news, I'll maybe watch a series if it's interesting to me. I like investigative series, so those types of things, or sometimes comedy, depending what kind of comedy. I don't like comedy that's too silly, but I like it if it's clever, so I will watch it then. My favorite TV show? It's a tough one. I think I like The Office a lot, but it's a tough one. I like Monk, which is kind of a comedy and a investigation or crime type show at the same time. I think it's a really good show. When is it on? It's on online, so I watch it whenever I feel like. I can stream it, binge watch it if I want. What did I watch on TV yesterday? Yesterday I watched an episode of Star Wars in the evening, and then I watched a little bit of news and sports. How many television channels do I have? I have, I think, 90 television channels right now. My favorite channel, I would say maybe Discovery Channel or Animal Planet. I like to watch those. I'm interested in those types of programs where I'm learning something about the world or watching interesting animals or that sort of thing. The advantages of watching TV. I think the advantages of watching TV are I can come and go. I can sit in a comfortable place. I'm not disturbing anyone else. So that's an advantage I see as compared to the cinema, where I can't pause it or eat food that I want to eat. The disadvantages of watching TV, I would say the commercials. Sometimes they're too long. If it's not an online show that I'm watching, I can't just pause it and come back to it. I also find it's difficult to schedule watching TV. I don't like to set aside time just for TV watching. I mean, a specific program. I just watch when I have time. What do I think about TV commercials? They suck. Can I use that word? It's not a bad word in English. It just means they're not enjoyable. I never buy stuff I see advertised on TV, so it's a waste of time for me to watch them. Could I live without TV for a week? Yeah, easily. I could live without TV for a week. I don't enjoy it that much. It would be harder for me to, say, give up reading news on the internet or something like that, but television's not difficult. All right, that's television and cinema. I guess at the end here I'll do an advantage, disadvantage. So I think the advantages of going to the cinema are that I can enjoy a more immersive experience. The sound is all around me, surround sound. The screen is very big, so I enjoy those aspects of it. It's more of a special experience. I get the popcorn and the cola, which I like to eat when I'm there. Disadvantages would be I can't just get up and leave if I want to, or I will miss some of the movie. Sometimes people are distracting or annoying by making noises or bumping into my seat and making me move, or things like that. If I go with someone else, like my son, he will usually need to go and use the bathroom during the middle of the movie. So I have to get up and leave. That sort of thing is a disadvantage. Advantages of watching TV or movies at home. I can decide when I want to watch it. I can decide the setting. So if I want to watch it in the evening, if I want to watch it at my desk or at my comfortable couch, I have a lot more decisions I can make about it. I can pause it if I want. I can eat whatever food I want. I can rewind. If I miss something, I can go back and see it. It's called rewinding. Things like that. Disadvantages, the screen is smaller. The sound isn't as good. Yeah, so things like that. And I like movie popcorn. It tastes better than popcorn at home for some reason. All right.